Nobody reads short stories.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeremy.
And I'm Megan.
And you're watching Nobody Reads Short Stories, where two writers talk about writing.
Yes, so this is the episodes, the little short episodes that we do in between seasons, where we talk about books and writing and short stories that we're reading or whatever. So let's get into it. For those of you who don't know, we time ourselves so that we don't talk too long because Jeremy and I are talkers.
Cranky and I weren't getting along last week. Cranky decided he didn't want me to keep talking, and so he shortened our time.
Actually, Megan, it was Megan's mistake. She said
I want to blame Cranky.
Okay, fine. It was Cranky because I don't want to take the blame myself. All right, so I'm going to start before we start babbling. Okay. All right, Cranky's cranking. Let's get to talking.
Megan, do you want to start?
Yeah, sure, I'll start. So hold on, let me make sure that you can see Cranky. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm ready. I'm talking. So I wanted to talk about this great short story book that I read called Lot. It's by this author named Bryan Washington. He's a young Black author who grew up in Houston, in the Houston area. And so all of these really great stories are about people kind of growing up in the fringes or living in the fringes of the Houston area. And the family the collection of the short stories follows this young man who's sort of coming of age in this world, and his mother is Black and his father is Latino, so he's kind of straddling these different worlds. And the stories are very rich, they're very visceral, and I was thinking about how can I describe these stories. They're like they're very sparse, the language is very sparse, but he creates these images that just seem to kind of like flutter out like a flame. They're like a flame burning up and then they kind of burn out. So sometimes you don't necessarily get the whole picture, but you get like the right descriptions and the right smells and the right taste of a scene, and your imagination can kind of run with the rest of it, and it leaves you with this feeling of like richness and like really being enmeshed in the world that he's creating for you.
Oh, I like that. And you finished it?
Yes, I did. And one of my favorite stories that I read in it was this story called Alief. I'm probably pronouncing it incorrectly, but it's Alief, and it's the name of a neighborhood. And it's all about how this neighborhood interacts as an organism. And there's an event that happens in the neighborhood, and all of the different people who live in the neighborhood have a perspective of what happened and how it happened, and they judge these people or they don't judge these people. And if you've ever, I don't know how it is like growing up in a big city or like living in Los Angeles. I feel like Los Angeles is an organism, but I don't feel like Los Angeles really is a part of my day-to-day life. But when you live in a small town or you live in like an apartment building, I feel like you can't help but be influenced and judged, and sort of you're always bumping arms and elbows and lives with other people in that sort of situation. And I feel like that's what the story shows you, is how that community of living in an apartment building or a neighborhood or a small town can really act like an organism or another being within your life, and how like strong and powerful that force can be when a powerful event happens.
Yeah, that's interesting that you're talking about that, because it takes like really big things to happen for you to realize how connected everything is. I think COVID is a great example. Like one person carried this little disease to the whole world, you know?
Right.
You know,
right.
and you do think you're separate from everything and everyone sometimes. I mean, at least I do. And then that reminds you that.
Right, but then something happens, and you know, everybody has their different opinions about it, and everybody has their likes and their dislikes and their different judgments. And I just think it's really interesting when you start thinking about place like a place or a environment being a character within a story. And I feel like that's what that story does, is it gives you these different perspectives from different characters that become an amalgamation of the neighborhood as a character.
Yeah, one of the most magical things for me is thinking about the space between people and things, because that is the connection. I think that's the magical realm, the space between. Like it's almost like its own little life force, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, like the space between the characters, like the living and breathing beings, and like the things that are around them, whether it's an object or a house or a
Yeah,
space. Yeah.
yeah, it's the shared space.
Mhm.
So I don't know how much time I have, but
Yeah.
I absolutely love this book. I won't play around. I'm never going to
Jeremy's
talk about
holding
her.
up Jeremy's holding up Bunny by Mona Awad.
I will never bad talk an author on the show. So like the books I don't like, I just kind of secretly put to the side. This book I did not expect to like at all. It on Goodreads, I mean, it has solid reviews, but it's like under a 4. So I was like, whatever. Like, I heard this is really weird. Like, why not give it a shot? Like, it was a buddy read, and so I was like, I'll just give it a shot. Um, what I like about it is that it is batshit crazy. Forgive me for cursing, Mom. But that's what it is. Megan, you started the book. It's batshit crazy, right?
Yeah, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what the book's about? What's the premise?
Okay, so close your eyes, y'all. This is Practical Magic meets The Craft meets Mean Girls meets Daria meets what else? What's that movie?
Oh, it is The Craft meets Mean Girls meets Daria. That's a really good description.
Heathers.
Yeah.
Heathers was the other one. So they're all combined, and the way they're all combined, somehow they form a world where I don't want to say too much, but like basically bunnies are a central point in the story. And it's so weird. At points, it's almost cartoonish in its horror aspects. What I really love and what got me going through the first half of the piece is how do you say this? Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart, Megan. Similes, metaphors, what are they? What are the personification? What is the overall thing? The illusions. What is that word, that English word that you use for that? Anyway, so the author, oh boy, is it Mona Awad? I think it's Awad. I hope I'm not pronouncing it incorrectly, but she does a great job of.
Oh man, I was scared.
Oh, I was disappointed.
So finish your thought though. She does a great job of what?
She creates the perfect similes and metaphors for you to actually picture the world in your head, even though it's an absurd world. Thanks for letting me finish that, Megan. Love this.
You're welcome.
You might not though, listener.
All right. So if you haven't already, please go out to our YouTube page and like and subscribe. Also, if there's a particular episode that you like from season 1 or season 2 or one of our Cranky Talks, please leave us a message. We love feedback. Our authors love feedback. So please send us some love.
All kinds, by the way. If you didn't like something, let us know so we can improve it. That's what we're here for.
Absolutely. We love constructive feedback, positive and negative. So please send it our way. If you're into social media, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. You can show us Twitter love by using the hashtag NRSS podcasts. If you are a listener and you know someone who loves audiobooks and loves reading short stories or listening to short stories, loves listening to stories while they're cooking or cleaning or driving to work or going about their life, please let them know that we are available on Spotify and Stitcher and Amazon and Apple Podcasts for download.
Yeah, we wanted to have something where people can get something out of their day for free, easy hour pieces. The longest we have is the 90-minute piece. And you get a full story. And you don't have to buy a subscription to Audible. So how cool is that?
You just download your podcast app for free, and it's there on your phone wherever you go, whenever you want us. We're there for you.
All right. So now this is the part. I'm going to make this the most epic time I do your pitch, Megan, ever. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Megan A. Morrison has a website. Her website features her work. She's going to be a world famous screenwriter this year. And every once in a while, she'll probably do a book. So if you want to find out information about Megan A. Morrison, make sure you subscribe to her website and she will put it into your email.
I love that. Thank you so much.
So dumb.
And if you're interested in learning about Jeremy, you can go to jeremyraystories.com, where if you sign up for notifications, you will get a brand new story every single week, every Tuesday in your email box without fail. You can read them. They're so short. You can read them while, you're brushing your teeth, doing other things in the bathroom, like whatever your heart's desires. You'll be done. Like, you could have read it right now in the time that I said go read it. Done.
Okay, so by the way, we're doing a lot of pitching of ourselves. That's what the end is for. But I also wanted to do a little bragging about ourselves because we're probably going to get a few dislikes on this just because. Megan, do you want to talk about how excited we got about having our first dislike on Cranky Talk?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So last week we got over 300 views on our
300! Where did those people come from?
We don't know, but we're excited to have them. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe. But we also got our first dislike. We got a thumbs down on Cranky Talk, which I was super excited about because I feel like anytime that we can excite some kind of reaction from someone is a positive. So, and that means we're on our way to make it, right? If somebody cares enough to dislike us, that means we're making an impact.
In my imagination, it was because they were upset with Cranky and they're like, oh, I just wanted to hear more of this. But no, that's probably not what happened.
That's right. They were like, man, Cranky cut off Jeremy. I'm going to dislike this.
We're gonna watch this over the week and we're gonna have 300 dislikes. So we're gonna be like, oh boy.
There's gonna be 300 dislikes and 1 like.
Bruce says, thanks again. Bruce, thank you for watching. Bruce is such a loyal listener. He's always watching the live pieces.
Yeah, Bruce is a loyal fan. Thank you, Bruce.
Also, shout out to Maureen and Mark and my mom, who are regular listeners too. Hi. I know you guys are the people listening right now.
Thank you to our loyal listeners and our loyal watchers of the live show. We really appreciate it. We do this show for you. Okay, what else? Oh,
one last thing. Let's do a real fast one. We have merchandise. We're not going to be goofy because I know we're taking up a lot of time today. But if you go to the merchandise, it helps us be able to upgrade and everything. And eventually, when we have enough money, we are going to give the rest to charity. This is something where we don't want to make any money on anything. We just want to be able to keep doing this, keep sharing stories with you. And Megan, is that all we have?
One more thing. If you're an author or you know an author or you have a story you would like to tell, please go to our website, nobodyreadshortstories.com. All of our submission for season 3 is there. We are currently reading short stories for season 3. So please tell your friends, send us your story. We would love to read it. We are reading stories until September 15th. So you still have a couple of weeks to get it in, but we can't wait to read it.
We sure can't. And if you're waiting for us to come back, make sure to watch our old episodes with our short stories on there. And we'll be back next week with another Cranky Talk episode.
That's right. See you next week.
Bye.
No one reads short stories anymore. I really don't know what they're written for. Go write a short story and throw it out the door. 'Cause no one reads short stories, funny, sad, or gory. No one reads short stories